Hello, everyone. Today, we will continue by talking specifically about Batman after the update and also discuss the Bat Family team in the game DC Dark Legion. The reason I separate these two topics is because even though Batman belongs to the Bat Family, he actually gets the best buff when teamed up with the Justice League, not when he's in the Bat Family faction. However, the Bat Family team still cannot be complete without Batman, since he is one of the two melee fighters in this faction. In this video, we'll first talk about Batman, and then move on to the Bat Family team. Before we start, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss more exciting videos. All right, let's get started. Up until now, I haven't made any video guiding you on how to build Batman, so in this one, I'll show you right away. Everyone already knows that Batman is a warrior, which means he doesn't actually have the best survivability. Warriors usually deal good damage, but they only survive a bit better than assassins or ranged heroes. After all, they are the ones standing in the front line to take the hits. Batman belongs to two factions, the Bat Family and the Justice League. In the past, the Bat Family wasn't strong enough to make it into the rankings. But ever since Nightwing was introduced, the Bat Family has become much stronger, even reaching the top of PvP. We'll talk more about that team later. Right now, let's focus on Batman himself. Now let's go over his skills. Skill 1 is very beneficial for Batman because he dodges the enemy's attack, deals damage, interrupts the target, becomes untargetable, and also increases his physical defense for 5 seconds. This effect activates once every 10 seconds. His dodge unintentionally makes enemies focus on the other melee fighter, which is why you need to pair him with a very solid tanker. This is also the reason why many players used to think Superman was weaker than Batman, because they often put the two together. As you already know, both of them are warriors, so their survivability is not high, and Superman ends up taking damage for Batman, which makes him leave the battlefield even faster. That's the main reason why many players criticized Superman in the early game. In fact, it would be better to pair Wonder Woman with Batman while Superman can stay in the backline. Skill 2 is an area damage skill, and the most important thing here is that it reduces the enemy's attack power, which helps the team survive longer. The damage itself is not very high, but the debuff is the valuable part. The key point lies in Skill 3, which was adjusted after the update. They increased the base damage but reduced the bonus damage when paired with 3 Justice League members. The purpose of this change is to make sure that when Batman appears in a Bat Family lineup, his damage won't be too heavily affected. His output remains relatively high. However, if possible, you should still play him with 3 Justice League members to maximize his damage. In terms of raw damage, without considering team synergy or extra effects, this skill is almost on par with Lex Luthor and Constantine. But since Batman deals damage in a wider area than Lex Luthor, he definitely surpasses him. Compared to Constantine, Batman is just slightly stronger. Still, with legacy and proper team synergy along with added effects, Constantine ranks among the very top damage dealers. I'll make a separate video later ranking the best damage heroes so you can have a clearer idea for your choices. If you're interested in that, make sure to leave a comment below this video. Now let's move on to Skill 4, which again requires synergy with the Justice League. It boosts Batman's attack power even more. So if you want to use him as your main damage dealer, you absolutely need to pair him with a Justice League team. When it comes to Batman's legacy, the game recommends Gabriel, but in my opinion, the best choice is Duplication Mirror. Its base stats increase both HP and dodge, which help Batman survive longer, while also boosting his attack to significantly increase his damage. On top of that, its skill further raises his attack power and even increases damage when being hit by melee enemies. That's why I think it fits Batman much better than Gabriel. Gabriel is mainly designed for Guardians with strong support abilities, as it helps them gain ultimate energy faster. For example, heroes like Scarecrow, Dr. Fate, and most recently Queen Hippolyta benefit from it much more than Batman does. For Transmute, I think you should focus entirely on increasing Batman's damage. That means choosing ATK, Physical Pen, crit rate, and crit damage. The top priorities here are definitely crit damage and physical pen. As for the set bonus, I believe the best option is Rejuvenating Strike because it provides a huge boost to his attack power. You can also combine it with Unyielding Will, since that will help him survive a bit longer, giving him extra time to deal more damage. Even just a few extra seconds of survival can create a big advantage for your team. For the Force system, since Batman is a warrior, you definitely need to level up all the stats because he requires both damage and survivability. However, if you want to prioritize, you should first focus on the 3 active skills, then move on to damage-related stats, and finally put points into survivability stats. The reason is that Batman already has a dodge skill, which allows him to survive longer than most other warriors. And if you pair him with a strong tanker, he'll have even more opportunities to shine in battle. Now let's talk about the best team for Batman. In my opinion, the best lineup for him is actually not the Bat family, but the Justice League, because it allows Batman to fully maximize his damage. At the same time, the Justice League has many strong heroes who can support him effectively. For example, one solid team would be Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Superman, and Mera. If you're a heavy spender, you can replace Mera with Green Lantern. Why is this team so good for Batman? First, Batman gets the maximum damage boost since there are 5 Justice League members. Second, when Batman dodges, enemies will shift their focus to Wonder Woman. And as you know, she's a very solid tanker. After that, Aquaman gathers all enemies to the center, Wonder Woman stuns them, and Batman can unleash his area damage on multiple targets. Meanwhile, Superman focuses on single target damage. You can also replace Wonder Woman with Shazam, because his skill redirects damage to himself, giving Batman and Superman more time to deal damage. However, I still prefer the core trio of Batman, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman. Mera's role is mainly to provide sustain for the team, but you can swap her out for an offensive support hero like Flash, who helps finish off enemies faster. Now let's talk about the Bat Family faction. This team is very suitable for free-to-play players because you only need to focus your Anvil investment on Nightwing, since he's the only mythic limited here. It's similar to the Justice League Dark team, but JLD is actually more free-to-play friendly because their heroes are available in Metal Brawl, and at least one of them is legendary, making them easier to build. Personally, I skipped investing in Nightwing because I wanted to build the Superman family, so my Nightwing is a bit weaker. But make no mistake, the Bat family team is very powerful. Let me explain why. First of all, Batman himself plays the role of a secondary damage dealer alongside Nightwing. It's similar to the Superman family where you have both Superman and Supergirl. With the Bat family, you have Batman and Nightwing. So even if one is taken out, the other can still deal damage. Red Robin also becomes a strong tanker in this faction. He gains damage reduction based on his crit rate, and the Bat family team bonus increases his crit rate even further, improving his survivability. On top of that, he creates a clone that draws enemy focus, he generates a shield for himself, and Batgirl supports him by boosting his crit rate as well, making him quite durable. In addition, he helps the team by reducing the enemy's crit resistance, which makes enemies much more vulnerable. Next is Batgirl, a core support hero in the Bat family. She specializes in increasing crit rate and crit damage for allies while also lowering the enemy's crit resistance, enabling the main damage dealers to hit even harder. Robin is an assassin like Nightwing, attacking with 9 random strikes across multiple enemies. Because of this randomness, he isn't seen often in battles. However, with Nightwing in the lineup, Robin becomes more useful since he has more chances to deal damage to the enemy backline, quickly taking them down. If you want something more consistent, you can replace Robin with Red Hood. As for Nightwing, those who've watched my Nightwing build video already know how strong he is. Especially in a full 5-member Bat family lineup, Nightwing pushes all crit-related stats to the maximum. With Batgirl boosting crit rate and Red Robin lowering enemy crit resistance, the amount of damage Nightwing can unleash is just insane. One very important note, You absolutely need to get Nightwing's Legacy because it gives him even more damage if his crit rate exceeds 100%. And since this team setup easily pushes him beyond 100% crit rate, the synergy becomes unstoppable. That's all for today's video. If you'd like me to make more videos on specific topics, don't hesitate to share your suggestions with me. I've also left a few videos in the comments that I think you'll enjoy. Make sure to check them out and support the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.